Hey guys, welcome back to the shack. And tonight I'm going to be doing a little bit more material testing. I'm going to share some settings with you for an easy project that if you have a Michael's or a Hobby Lobby or a lot of those places in your area, you can pick these things up. Or if you just want to, go grab a few tiles and paint them yourself, you can do it as well. But what I've got here is this is just a plain black tile. These came from Michael's. They had them the other day, had them marked down. And while I was down there picking up some other material, I figured I'd, save myself the trouble and just go ahead and grab a few of these guys. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to show you how to go from this with just a plain black tile to this. And that is the logo for some friends of mine that live down the road. They have a YouTube channel, Chestnut Hills Farmstead. They raise chickens for meat and pigs and stuff like that. And they've got a YouTube channel, so if you want to go by and tell them, hey, tell them the Clack Shack sent you, that would be great. But I'm going to be making this one I made for them, just more or less just to test it out and to show them what it would look like in their logo. But I'm going to get a little creative with the rest of them. We're going to do some different designs, different logos. So if that's something you're interested in, stick around. All right, guys, I got one of the new coasters. I got one of them put in there and got it ready to go. And I just want to kind of walk you through the process that I use to set these things up. And if you're new to lasers or if you have a hard time getting your stuff positioned into a certain area, there's two different ways that you can go about it. One way is to mark the center and then put your graphic in and set your machine to start from current location. And then you just simply move the laser head over to the center mark that you made. Make sure it's square because it still needs to be square with the frame of the machine, and then engrave it. The other option, which is what I usually end up doing because a lot of times I do, several of the same item. Such as with coasters, sometimes I may do 4 or 5, I may do 8 to 10, and sometimes even more than that. So, hey guys, over here at the enclosure, I went ahead and got one of my tiles set up into the machine. Like I said, there's a couple of ways you can do this. The first way, and probably the simplest way if you're not running light burn and not using a jig kit or anything, is to mark the center of the workpiece, move your laser dot over the top, or your crosshair, over the top of the mark that you made. Ensure that your piece is square with the frame or the gantry, however you have to do that. And then set your machine to current position and run it out from there. Frame and make sure you've got everything square. Once you've got everything square, you can run with it. Now, the way that I like to do it is one of two ways. I make jig panels that if I'm doing 5 or 6 at a time, I can take and put 5 or 6 of them in here. Or I can just use my large squaring jig right here. I have took and cut a little square out of mine that is exactly the size of one of these tiles. And I can actually use this squaring jig and just slide it in that little notch and it holds it in place. Larger items, of course, you would use the entire part of the squaring jig, but with something this small, you kind of have to get it down to where it can get, thoroughly into the work area. And so I just kind of made me a little notch, just made a little square and cut me a notch in my squaring panel, squaring jig, and there it goes. So what I do is I go in Lightburn and I create a line file that basically outlines where my workspace is, and in this case my workspace is going to be that tile. So I go ahead and I create that line in Lightburn. I used to use the tool line, but since they've made it to where it doesn't frame anymore, now what I do is I'm using the number 29, which is the very last power setting before you get to a tool line, and I set that thing at 0.5% output at 100 millimeters per second, and that way it can be used to frame. So that might be something that you want to do in order to keep from accidentally damaging your workpiece in the event that you forget to turn that guy off when you get through framing. So once you get that little line built, all you've got to do, make sure it's square, make sure that you've got it on the piece, and then just frame it out. And what I'm looking for in the frame is I want that laser to outline the very edge of my tile, very edge of my workpiece. And so I'm going to frame that out. I'm going to visually confirm whether or not I'm framing the entire workpiece. It appears that I'm going to need to come down just a little. So once I slide it down and get it to where I want it, then I can start my burn. So that's running on the very edge of the bottom, and it is on the very edge of the top. So I'm good. And I've got just inside on both of the sides, so we're good. That is where I want the graphic to be. So I'm going to have my graphic dropped into the work area. I'm going to select it first, and then I'm going to select that little tool line that I made. And once I got both of those selected, selecting the one that I want to move first before I select the line, I'm going to use the little bullseye or center icon up top that looks like a bullseye to make sure that my graphic is in the middle of this little frame that I built. Now, I'm going to go ahead, now that I've got that set up, I'm going to turn the output off to that layer and go ahead. I'm going to frame one more time, and this is only going to be where my graphic is going. This is not going to be the entire workpiece. All looks good. Another benefit of framing, guys, in case you haven't run into that yet, is if you've been moving your machine around or if you have a cable that's subject to hang somewhere, the more you frame, the more confident you can be that as the laser moves through the workspace, you're not going to have any hoses or cables or anything like that hanging. So depending on your configuration, that's another plus of doing framing. And guys, don't pay attention to the fact that my machine is really, really dusty. I've did a couple of these tiles this afternoon, and these tiles get that little white powdery dust everywhere. So I will be cleaning it soon. But I just last night during some of my other testing cleaned my lens. So other than a little bit of dust from the last few burns, it is actually clean, even though it doesn't look it. So here we go. I will be running air assist, and the reason is I want to burn the residue from the burn out of the cut so that I get a real nice deep burn. But I'm not going to run it really crazy because I don't want to put those particulates everywhere. So I'm just going to give me maybe I'm doing like a third of my air here, and I'm going to go ahead and start the engrave. I also will be running my smoke evacuation system on the vacuum table. But the reason I'm doing that is not for smoke, it's for that little tiny fine powder that comes off of these guys. And if you're not running an enclosure, guys, that's one more reason, is because you get these real fine particulates coming off of this ceramic tile, and it's probably not good to be breathing a lot of those. So an enclosure is beneficial, even if you're doing materials that aren't necessarily smoking or aren't necessarily flammable. So just safety tip for the day. All right, guys, got that one engraved. Now the great thing about this setup is if I wanted to, let's say I wanted to put an engrave on the back of this piece, and I didn't want it to go through a whole lot of trouble. I've got my initial engrave on there. So all I really got to do is flip this guy over, and I can lay it right back in the same little slot here. No adjustments necessary. All right, I'm going to go into, you guessed it, my logo here. I'm going to bring it over. I'm going to place it in the work area on the machine. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to leave it selected. I'm going to hold Control, click on that outer line that is around, that I used as a jig, and I'm going to 0. All right, now when I frame, I'm framing my logo. The logo is centered. So if I wanted to put my logo on the back of these things, if I wanted them to be reversible, which I think is cool, that's how you go about it. So now that I've got it flipped over, all I've got to do is hit start once again. Got that side of it done, and turned out the way I wanted it. So I'm going to move over here. I'm going to clean these two burns up real good, and I'll be back with you. It turned out pretty well. Got it cleaned up off of the machine, and both sides are centered. Both sides look good. Got nice detail, and so turned out pretty well. But this approach works very well using a jig like this, even if it's not a full jig, even if you just get the item to slide into the corner. I use my kits regularly. They come in real handy. I do have other variations that have multiple holes for doing multiples at a time, or you can just use the large square and jig like that and just make you an indentation for the objects, or you can cut your own panels. So if that's something you're interested, I'll put a link down below for my Etsy shop and you can pick those up. But the settings on this, like I said, it turned out pretty well. There's a couple of a couple of different variety of these ceramic tiles, so I can't promise you it'll work with all of them. But on this one, I got some really great detail. I just ran standard LPI, nothing too severe, but it had good effect. It's actually textured. You can feel it. You can feel the coarseness of the material where it's been engraved. So not only did we discolor it, but actually gave it a little texture as well. So it's a cool thing to do. These guys were really cheap at Michael's, and I think I paid like $5 for a pack of 4, and I've just been playing with them and testing different designs and just making a few for folks. But that's gonna be it for tonight, guys. I hope this helps out. If you enjoyed it and you want to see more, be sure to hit the subscribe button. I'm always trying out new things, testing things, and hope to keep the content coming. So until next time, guys, be safe and have a good day.